I quit Genshin Impact 3 years ago. I mean, I've always wanted a clickbaity intro like that. I made a video a few months ago called How to Fall in Love with Genshin Again, and while I still stand by a lot of the stuff I said in that video, I also feel it got misinterpreted quite a bit. Granted, part of that was my fault, as I didn't word all of my points as best as I could have, but that was also because I felt I didn't need to elaborate too much for the people that the video was targeted towards. In that video, I touched briefly on the story of how I stopped playing Genshin, and then later grew to love it again, but for the sake of keeping things short and sweet, I didn't really go into much depth about my overall experience, why I stopped, why I came back, and so on. In this video, I'll be talking about my experience in more depth. I started playing Genshin Impact 4 years ago in October of 2021. It was during patch 2.2 and I distinctly remember Charles Banner being up. Now do not get me wrong when I say this, I had a lot of fun. I hyperfixated on this game and played every single day for months. However, I was also ignoring most of what the game had to offer. I didn't play for the story, the exploration, or the lore, or even the meta or endgame. I started playing because I was trying to get to AR16 so I could play with a friend who stopped playing before we ever co-oped, by the way. So when I was left on my own, I kind of just stuck around and had fun building new characters I would get and beating up bosses in the open world. I remember pulling on House Banner, not even knowing what a 50-50 system was, and feeling very shocked when I got some bug-eyed man called Diluc, and not the cute ghost girl that was on the banner. Even so, I leveled my Diluc up to level 70 and started grinding Primo Gems so I could get the next cool featured 5-star, Eula, who was actually my first main. I just pulled and leveled characters grinding for Primo Gems. I hardly even saved up wishes, I'll be honest. I didn't prepare for the banners. I wish every single time I basically got to 160 Primo Gems and hope for the best. What was I doing? I quit roughly 5 to 6 months after playing, in 2022 around when the Chasm released. I quit for the same reason many players do, the toxicity of the very loud community, feeling lost or overwhelmed with no direction, and having no materials to level up anything. The final straw was when I lost my 50-50 to Mona after trying to get my favourite character, Venti. After that, I felt so defeated that I just had no motivation to keep playing, and so I kinda just didn't. I stopped playing. If all I was playing for was getting cool characters, then why keep playing when I couldn't even get my favorite? And so, because I felt disgruntled over this very dramatic 50-50 loss, I stopped playing for an entire year. The aftermath of quitting was kind of weird. I developed this strange distaste towards the game after seeing so much negative drama surrounding it. I mean, I enjoyed playing it. I had no real qualms with it outside of losing my 50-50, and it wasn't like I had other gacha games to compare it to either, since I had never played any, but consuming the overly negative media about it slowly influenced my feelings towards the game, especially during a time where I was already starting to feel a bit mad about not getting my favorite character, which ended up convincing me that it had all of these problems that I needed to hate to justify why I didn't want to play anymore. In reality, I just didn't feel like it anymore, and that's perfectly fine and reasonable. My sister had also started playing the game all those months ago when I did, except when I quit, she kept playing. Every now and then I'd get a small peek at her screen, seeing so much in the game I had never seen before. New areas, new characters. Slowly, my curiosity started to peak again, and I couldn't really help myself. Not only was there a lot of cool new stuff, but I also wondered if I had another shot at getting Venti again. Fast forward to 2023, I came back around version 3.5. My plan was to save all my wishes for Venti's next rerun. Was the spark back at this point? Kinda. I was genuinely enjoying the saving process, feeling like I was working towards something, and all the new content definitely gave me a lot to do, but it wasn't until I saved over 160 wishes and started pre-farming for Venti that I found myself becoming obsessed with the game again. It was like my neurodivergent brain just decided, yes, we like Genshin again. Probably to an unhealthy degree, actually. Let's play every day. I simply went through a natural process of growing bored of a game, and then after a nice long break, I came back to it. I do the exact same thing for many other games I like, such as Minecraft, Red Dead, Project Zomboid, all some of my favorite games. I often go through these seasons. There was a time where I didn't play Minecraft for a year straight. I only play Red Dead every now and again when I'm in the mood, and Project Zomboid, I'll have these weird phases where I'll play it very consistently for weeks, months at a time, and then not pick it up again for half a year, sometimes longer. Or almost 3 years later, I'm still actively playing it to this day. I would say making content on it definitely helps, as it gives me a lot more to do as well. Since I'm always thinking of ways that I can turn what I'm doing in the game into a video, it definitely motivates me to get more stuff done on my account. On top of that, I also fell in love with the story and the lore, especially the Moonsister lore. So when you combine the love of the lore, the combat, the elemental system, the characters, saving wishes, trying to perfect my count, exploration, and the most recent updates adding some of the most fun content I think Genshin has ever, added yet, it makes me excited to keep playing. And on top of that, I really love making videos on it too, so. Finally, something that I actually copped a little bit of flack for saying last time, but I'll say it again anyways, I avoid a lot of the negative media surrounding the game. That isn't to say I don't welcome constructive criticism. I definitely have my fair share of thoughts regarding not having a fate point system for 4 stars, no skip button, and Millie Astro Wonderland's gacha system. That thing is horrendously designed as of right now. But what I mean is, I don't just watch drama video after drama video dumping on a game that ultimately, above its flaws, I really like. It just gets tiring, Twitter especially. If you truly like a video game, assuming that it isn't hurting anyone or isn't completely morally awful to be playing, then don't let some angry no-lives tell you that you can't enjoy it. I will continue to build my channel around fun Genshin content for it to be a place where people can just watch videos about games without constant negativity. This is such a yap fest, oh my goodness. Okay, cool, conclusion time. After quitting, how did I come to love this game again? Playing for more than just pulling and leveling characters. Building characters is honestly one of my favorite aspects of the game, but for me, after a while, it wasn't enough on its own. I actually play for the story now, and I really love it. I love the community of people that stop by on my little corner of the internet to watch me play it. I have ambitions and goals to work towards on my account all the time. These things combined fuel my already existing enjoyment for a game that I've been playing for, 4 years now? I love this game, the characters, the world, and I love creating content on it for others to enjoy. And I also enjoy making silly yap fests about it because I see so many negative videos get made about it all the time, and they pop up on my For You page, and half the time I don't really particularly want to watch them. So sometimes I wanted to make some yap fests about the game, but from a more positive perspective. While constructive criticism is honestly very, very healthy for the game's development to be able to grow and get better, at the same time, let me glaze it a little. We're closing in on the new year once again, and so I thought I'd take the time to talk about my future plans regarding my Genshin account, my Genshin content, and what that's hopefully going to look like throughout next year. First off, as some of you may already know, I have been saving as many wishes as I possibly can for C6 R1 Varka. Expect a big summoning session once he releases. I may also try and pull Doran. I also want to start a Varka maxing series and really commit to an artifact domain. Probably for way too long. Top 1% Varka will be mine. He could heal the enemies. I will make him cracked. I also want to continue doing my character building videos. The upload schedule for those videos has been a bit scuffed of late. I try to get one out once a month, but they've been a bit all over the place of late. I want to try and get more of those done because I really, really like doing those videos. Next up is Razor, and then afterwards, a lot of the characters that will be getting picked to be built in future videos will be chosen by you guys. I also want to make a spring cleaning video, account spring cleaning video. Now, I would say my account is decent enough, but there are areas where I could improve. I want to go through my artifacts and clean those out. I want to finish any builds that I started but never fully finalized. I want to level 90 a lot of my level 80 characters. I want to build maybe a couple supports here and there so I have a bigger roster of characters to choose from. I want to overall just clean up my account, get it all in a really nice, organized place coming into the new year, pulling new characters. I also want to make some more DPS Venti content. I absolutely love making DPS Venti content. There will be more, trust me. And finally, I want to finish up my DPS Roulette series, which should be coming to a close very soon. I think we're only a couple episodes away before I finish that series, honestly. I know there hasn't been an episode for a long time. Trust me, I am aware. It is in the works. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit bit longer. I think it'll be worth it. After I finish that series though, I want to then move over possibly to a new series that is on a completely free to play account only. I have a lot of plans, I have a lot of ideas. I think Genshin's in a really good place right now. I love a lot of the quality of life they've added. I like a lot of the stuff they're adding of late. That's my Yap Fest over, and I'll see you in the next one.